Bottle ovens and Saggars are almost things of the past. There isn't many places using them today in the potteries. I'm Ralph Wheeldon, and I'm one of the 4 last Saggar makers. The Saggars are to protect the ware in the bottle ovens during the firing. They say the proper name is a safeguard, and I've never known it be called any other, only a Saggar. The maul comes in loads, 6 or 7 ton at a time. Probably have 3-tonner sides and 3-tonner bottoms. The bottoms has got bigger grog in and more grog in. We cut the bats off the side maul, and each one, as you throw it on the frame, has to be lapped over at least 1 inch to 1.5 inches to make sure as they're well knitted together. After that you trim it as near as possible as you can to the thickness of the frame. Bill uses a grafter to cut his dumps of maul, and he has to cut them as near as he can to the proper weight, because you've only got to have them a thickness to the ring. Before you start mowing, you scatter it with sawdust, and that helps it from sticking. These mows, what we use, are made of oak, and they have to be soaked in water, because if you don't soak them in water, when you're mowing, the maul will stick to it. Anyhow, when you're mowing the frame in, you start from the back, and as you're mowing, you pull down it and pull sideways, and every part of the maul as you mow, you'll notice the mow goes over where you first started, until you get to the end of the frame, and then you know as the frame is solid, and this is the sides of your Saggar. After you've moved your frame in, you get your measuring stick, and you've got various heights, and you mark them off with your knife, and you've got to see as they're level. After you've marked them off, you use your rule for cutting out. Now once you put the rule on, and it's got to be on the lines as you've marked, you've got to hit the rule to make sure the suction of the maul holds the rule, because if you get one end higher or lower, then you've got what they call a miscut. So you have to hold it dead level, and then you cut through each marking as you've done, and that is the sides of your Saggar. We've got 8 minutes to fill the frame and mow it in and cut it out. Bill, after he's knocked the bottom, gets an iron plate and pulls the bottom onto the plate, and then puts it on to the wheelie, ready for the Saggar maker is going to roll the side of the Saggar off the frame and put it onto the bottom. I started when I was 14, bottom knocking, and that was bottom knocking for 2 saggar makers, and then you had a frame fella. And you used to have to keep at least 5 to 6 bottoms in front of the saggar makers, because if they were waiting, you'd only got one, and the other saggar maker hadn't got a bottom to put on his wheelie, then you were for it, and you got a real good cossie. It takes 3 minutes to knock a bottom. It was £1 a week when I started. Frame fella was on £2, and the top saggar makers be on about £7, £8. Of course, in them days, you had to wait for a saggar maker to die before you could get on a wheelie. Because nearly every pot bank carried 1 or 2, some carried 3, 4. All your tools are made by yourself. You use pieces of oak wood, and you cut them to the shape and sizes as you want. You have what they call a topping stick, which you make out of wood. You have what they call a topping tool, that is tin, strong tin. Years ago we used to use the old Coleman's mustard, science tin. But now today, like, you can get the pieces of tin, strong stuff off the frame as you make the topping tools with. The piece of wood as I'm bannering top of the saggar with is to just show us the top of the saggar is level. After it's bannered and you've lifted it on your head, then you take it into the otters for dry. My last job is, when they're dry, to take them out to the saggar house for the places to handle. I wished I'd got £1 for every saggar as I'd made, because I've done 47 years at it.